next piece is engagement. We're looking at two things. One is the marketing engagement. Next is sales. Under marketing, this is really easy to automate and apply points to. It's about making sure it's the right point scoring model. So obvious things are submissions, so have they downloaded content? Site visits, how many times have they actually been to your site? Pages viewed. So good example here is if they've gone to your site 2 times, if they visited 20 pages, that means they're doing a pretty in-depth exploration of your site and looking into a lot of different things. I would look at that and say that's probably a better qualified prospect versus someone who's maybe been to the site 3 times but only visited 1 page each time. If someone's doing a lot of research, they're looking at everything you have to offer, that's a good sign, and that's something you definitely want to track. So how many times have they been? So number of visits, then obviously number of pages they actually viewed overall. Other things to be is email clicks. One thing I'll say is don't fall into the trap of the scoring points for email opens. Just because someone opened an email doesn't mean that that's actually expressing interest. Having them click on something within that email to go view content or view an offer that you might have, that does make sense. You absolutely want to award points for that. But opening an email, think about it, everyone tries to clear out their inbox as much as they can. Just by opening that email doesn't mean that they're expressing interest. So we typically say don't award points for that. On the other side is negative activity, unsubscribes. If they say don't talk to me anymore, well, you should probably award negative points for that. Just a few examples, all things that you can track. On the sales side, where this is important is if there's actual human interaction taking place that's being tracked within a CRM tool. So this could be inbound calls. This could be emails. And this is emails being sent to the actual sales team, right? If they're coordinating an appointment, if they're they're asking a question. This could actually be appointments themselves. Quote requests. You get the idea. All things that might be taking place in really the front end of the overall sales process. So maybe it hasn't gone to somebody who's actually having that final conversation and trying to close the deal, but someone who maybe a business development rep who's trying to set up the initial appointment. These are all things you're tracking in your CRM, all things you want to attribute positive or negative points to that apply to the actual lead record. This is a very basic model, but what we've seen is it's really important to keep it simple and keep it something that everyone understands, and more importantly, knowing what it's actually being used for. Don't just have it as a filter where you can say start with your top hot leads, right? The idea is once it reaches a certain score, what happens as a result of that? Again, for us, it goes from awareness to consideration stage. For you, it might mean having someone from sales reach out. Completely different, but that's something that you guys in your own organization have to decide. The final piece is you want to put into place some type of attrition model where as no activity takes place over a period of time, you want to make sure that you start decreasing that overall lead score. We use, I believe, I want to say an 18-week attrition model where over that 18-week period, that score can go from basically to 100 to 0 if no activity takes place. So every week, you want to have some type of percentage decrease if nothing happens. However, if any type of activity happens, you want to keep that progressing forward. It's just to understand who are prospects that maybe were once interested but just aren't looking at you whatsoever anymore. Go ahead and reduce that lead score. That way you have a clear line of sight to what leads fall within what stage. Okay, that's it for this week. If you have any questions, any comments, want to learn about something specific, feel free to leave that in the comments below and we'll definitely get to it. All right, take care.